Hello my fellow Italians and welcome back to Hetafacts. And remember when I said I was going to try to take a break from Eastern European countries' mysteries? Well, I guess my break is over. Hey, I would love to do a mystery about the Nordics, but there isn't really anything mysterious about them. The Nordics are pretty transparent, and I've already done the Sweden is gay thing and the feelings for Finland. The most controversy that the Nordics have right now is their names. Anyways, I was looking through the Hetaliakita wiki, researching why Latvia was so short, and I found this little detail about him. Quote, he can drink up to 40 cups of alcohol at his best. This bit of information comes from the Zealand and Latvia desktop mascots. I've known this for a while, but I really sat down to think, just how much alcohol is that? We know that Latvia has no tolerance limit, so this is not surprising. But I wondered, is it possible to drink this much as a human and not die? So I decided to look into this claim and try to figure out what would happen to Latvia if he were human. So join me on this mathematical tour as we try to determine Latvia's BAC, or blood alcohol content. Through finding his blood alcohol content, we can determine how lethal this amount of alcohol is. So what do we need to find Latvia's BAC? Well, first of all, if he can drink up to 40 cups of alcohol, what kind of alcohol is he drinking? 40 cups of what? There is a big difference between a cup of beer and a cup of vodka. Well, there are two, maybe three guesses we can make. The first option is sake, since that is Japan's national drink and it is served in cups, as mentioned. Also, Latvia sings in his character song, Then again, sake just means alcohol in Japanese. There is a chance, though, it could be vodka, since wine and beer are not served in cups, but rather glasses. Vodka is a popular drink in Latvia. Or it could be Riga Black Balsam, which is the best well-known drink that comes from Latvia, and Latvia has mentioned drinking it in his character song. Vodka, however, is served in shots, and so is Riga Black Balsam. No one sits down and has a glass of vodka unless you have no taste buds or a huge problem. Even people with problems don't pour their vodka into cups, rather they drink it straight from the bottle or do shots like everyone else, since vodka does not taste good. It tastes like window cleaner. You don't drink vodka because it tastes good, you drink it to get fucked up. So in this case, I'm going to say that we are talking about sake, since sake is served in cups, and since this is an anime and Himaruya is Japanese. Also, sake is the weakest of the three alcohols, so it will give us the minimum estimate of how much booze Latvia is consuming. And believe me, we are going to need the lowest amount possible. So for my BAC estimator, we need Latvia's weight, gender, and the time it takes for him to drink 40 cups of sake. We will also need the input of number of drinks, ounces per drink, and the proof of alcohol. We know Latvia's gender, but we don't know his weight. But we know his height, and he looks to be about average weight, so we can make a pretty good guess. By putting in his age, height, and sex into this calculator, the weight ranges from 32.3 to 45.9 kilograms. Taking the average weight of that, we get 39.1 kilograms, or about 86 pounds. And that is being generous. He probably is just lighter just looking at him. This does not look like a plump boy, but he's not a starving boy either. So I say this is a fair weight. Now for the alcohol. Average sake is 14 to 16% alcohol. But how much is in a cup of sake? Well, a typical masu, what the cup is called, has a volume of 1 go, which is 180 milliliters or 6.1 fluid ounces. One ishobin, or one of the large sake bottles, holds up to 60 fluid ounces, and this translates to 10 masu per ishobin. So we are going to stick with the cups. So each cup is 180 milliliters or 6.1 fluid ounces, but that is when it is filled to the brim. Most cups are normally not filled to the brim and are instead filled to 3 to 4 fluid ounces, or from 88 to 118 milliliters. So in this case, we will put the ounces in the amount at 3.5 fluid ounces since this calculator takes fluid ounces. I am not selecting the sake on this converter because the sake on here is the strongest possible sake that is at 18% proof, and I want a more average number. We already know the number of drinks, so we have one thing left to find out: the time. This is where we are going to have to guess because I don't know how long it takes to drink 40 cups of sake, and I don't think anyone has lived to know that answer. When you brag about how much you drink, you normally brag about how much you can drink in one sitting. The world record for most alcohol consumed in one sitting is from Andre the Giant, who consumed 119 beers in 6 hours, which is about a beer every 3 minutes. But this isn't beer, this is sake, which takes a lot less time to drink. And Latvia would be drinking 1/10 of the liquid that Andre is consuming. So I would say that it would probably be at most an hour, and that is being very generous. But in this case, I will calculate a maximum of 5 hours just to be fair. So we finally have all of our data. And when we plug it all in, we get a BAC of 1.408. In case you don't know how insane this number is, a BAC of anything above 0.40 is lethal, and if it doesn't kill you, it will put you in a coma. Latvia is more than triple that amount. That is insane. At 5 hours, it does not get much better at 1.344. The highest BAC ever recorded was in Poland, where a man crashed his car and had a BAC of 1.480. A bit higher than Latvia's, but mind you, this was a grown man who is probably overweight, not an underdeveloped 15-year-old boy. No wonder why Russia hangs out with him all the time. Latvia is the only one who can keep up with Mr. Vodka is my fuel, Russia, when it comes to drinking. And God forbid if he was drinking vodka or black balsam. That would be 3 times the alcohol content. But let's calculate it for the lulz. With vodka, which is 40% alcohol, in shots at a maximum of 5 hours, his BAC would be 1.664. Riga Black Balsam is 45% alcohol, which is even more than vodka. Putting that in with the time of 5 hours, in the amount of a shot glass, 1.5 ounces, would be a monstrous 1.882. No wonder why he's never experienced being drunk. If he drank like this every time, he would definitely have memory loss. But let's give Latvia the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he was drinking the lightest of alcoholic beverages, beer. After all, beer is the most popular drink in Europe, even in Russia. So maybe he did drink 40 cups or glasses of beer. Beer is typically 6% alcohol and is served in 12 ounces. And his BAC is 2.013? Well, considering beer is served in 12 ounces rather than shots like vodka, I can understand. No wonder why you are so underdeveloped. It's not Russia's fault. You have no one to blame but your binge drinking Latvia. So either Latvia is lying, or he has a liver that is made out of steel. If Latvia was a real boy, he would have died from alcohol poisoning or organ failure. End of story. And that was 1 mark higher on your history test. Thank you for watching Hetafacts.